AskReddit by Elisa Ballou. In your travels, which city was the biggest letdown? Sochi, Russia. An absolute hellhole, no flair, no atmosphere apart from give us all your money and then fuck off, also swelteringly hot. Awful, awful place. Deleted. My dad told me he was taking me to hell and back. I was hyped. Well, we went to hell, Michigan and back. It was a small village town with a few buildings painted with devils, but not the brimstone fury I had imagined. Dad still tells the story. Edit, brimstone damn autocorrect. That's some dad joke commitment. Barstow. I saw it on the map, remembered it from the song Route 66, and decided that was where we would stop for the night. I was kind of excited about staying there. Oof. What an awful place. It was ugly. There was just dirt and dust everywhere. No place to eat. No place to hang out. Everybody looked so depressed and worn down. It is definitely not a place to stop. Haha, rhyme from Southern CA. In 4th grade, our class had a project to bring in a souvenir from a location that was specifically unique to that location, and the kid who went to Barstow brought back sand. Not a city, but we drove to Cape Disappointment to see the lighthouse a handful of years ago and it was all tarped off and closed for renovations and updates. I suppose it did live up to its name nonetheless. Edit, here y'all go. Almost 9 years ago it was https://imgur.com/a/kmb89eb. Went car camping there and absolutely loved it. I was passing through and my partner and I decided to pull up and camp for the night. The stars were absolutely beautiful, and even though the park was near full it was a peaceful sleep. The cedar and the campfire smell brings back so many good memories for us. When we left we visited a little diner that served us a huge breakfast. I'm talking saucer-sized biscuits and gravy. It was very from PNW with love vibes. Niagara Falls, Ontario. Not the falls themselves. They're spectacular. The town is awful. Niagara on the Lake is the nicer version of Niagara Falls. Edit, for the Ontarians, yeehaw what a cute town. Honestly, southwestern Ontario is like a little spit of heaven. I could spend the rest of my life road tripping around and never getting bored. Hollywood. Who hurt you, the city? I live near Hollywood and trust me, it's one of the shittier parts of LA. Dubai. It's like Vegas with no soul. I never thought Vegas had a soul, then I visited Dubai. Vegas knows what it is and doesn't try to hide it. I'm from Jackson, Mississippi. You guys are all spoiled. Yep. I live in the Delta. Even Jackson makes me cringe. Myrtle Beach. It's basically Gatlinburg with sand. It's funny because Gatlinburg people come to Myrtle for vacay and Myrtle people go to Gatlinburg for vacay. Cairo without a doubt. Anyone who hasn't been, just Google and the horror stories will keep you away. Edit. Since I have had a few similar notifications with questions. Yes, the one in Egypt. My disappointment when I got to the pyramids, and directly across the road, Pizza Hut. Dafuck. Venice, Italy in the summer. I had been there in February and it was an amazing time. Summer though? I don't know what was happening, but there were loads of fish dying in all the channels and the place reeked wherever we went. My wife tried the water taxi and she would have probably been okay, but with the dead fish smell mixed with the waves, she got incredibly seasick for a while. It just turned into a crappy time for the few days we were there. They also run a scam on the water taxi where they give no information on how to pay for it at certain stops in English. They monitor the stops, and then give huge fines, $200 plus USDPP, to you on the ferry, which must be paid on site with a credit card or you go to jail. Total racket. It's not an honor system if you don't explain it. Butte, Montana. I knew nothing about the place before passing through, but I was still disappointed. You weren't charmed by the lake of poisonous acid death? Daytona Beach, Florida. I was so excited to go to Florida in high school. Cockroach in the hotel room. Biohazard bag in the water, all scummy touristy stuff. No thanks. Saved up all that money to go working at the school store just to be disappointed. Went to Tybee, Georgia a year ago and that place was fantastic. I wanna change my answer to this. I'm from SC and frequently go to Myrtle Beach for weekend trips, so it reminded me of Myrtle Beach but with way less to do. I agree that Tybee is amazing. We saw wild dolphins swimming only a dozen or so yards from us. Niagara Falls us side. Disgusting everywhere but on the water. You and the guy who hates the Canadian side should meet. Surprisingly, MTORMBU translates to River of Mosquitoes in Tanzania actually beats the Wisconsin Dells in my book. I love reading these and just imagining how terrible some people are at traveling. I don't like gambling, the heat, I'm crowd shy, shows bore me, etc. So anyway, I went to Vegas and it was awful. This thread at times has been like the SNL skit with Adam Sandler where he plays a travel agent planning a hypothetical trip to Italy and he says something like, "Don't expect the holiday to magically make you happy. If you're a sad sack where you are, you're probably going to be a sad sack in Rome as well. We can take you on a hike. We cannot make you the type of person who enjoys hiking." Charleston, West Virginia. It was meh. Just not much there to see and do. The drive through West Virginia was beautiful. I thought you were gonna say Charleston, SC, and those are fighting words. Little Rock, Arkansas. I expected nothing and somehow got even less than that. Would not recommend. Someone told me that Little Rock was like the Newark of Arkansas. That's scary accurate. Atlantic City, NJ. Atlantic City is a once-in-a-lifetime experience, as I'm never going there again. The most heartbreaking sight was all the kids on the steps of the casino, waiting for their parents who just went for a quick spin of the roulette wheel. Those poor kids were waiting nearly all day and night. The boardwalk is full of the kind of people you hope don't sit next to you on a plane. Loud, drunk, and they have opinions. Never again. This is a trap. If you pick a city, all the redditors from there will show no love. Yes, it's me, the guy from the city you want to visit. Don't do it, it sucks here. Nothing interesting at all. You're better off going to that other guy's city, believe me. Dallas, Texas. I cannot believe how boring that city is. I've had much more fun in every other Texas city I've visited. Austin, San Antonio, even Fort Worth. I couldn't believe the spaghetti bowl of freeways everywhere in Dallas. I also took the train from the airport and I was the only person on the train that wasn't nodding out on Fent, and this was before COVID. Then I decided to walk to my rental car, which looked close on the map, but I was on basically a highway with no sidewalk and people were staring at me from their cars like I was crazy for walking anywhere. Pigeon Forge, Tennessee is one of the most depressing traffic jammed pieces of highway I have ever seen. Yeah, I drove through there on a weekday, during off-season, bumper to bumper. Lol, the people saying London or New York. Sounds like you just didn't know what to do while there and or opted to not go outside the notoriously touristy parts. London is probably the most wrong answer ever. It has something for every ONE. San Jose, CA. I think it actively tries to be as boring as humanly possible. Other than a game at the tank, hockey, San Jose doesn't have much to do in the city. The city is great to live in, but it's just a huge suburb. However, it is close to SF, Oakland, Santa Cruz, etc.